Hey everybody! So I'm just hanging out here in the camper out of the wind with Kluani dog. He's laying down so you can't see him. He doesn't like the wind either, so he hangs out with mom. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about dogs and dog food in our situation. I've mentioned a couple times that we do not cook, or we do not give the dogs dog food. We cook for them, and so, but we also do things on a budget. So this is just to give you some ideas on the types of ingredients and meals you could make for dogs if you also want to consider cooking for your dogs. And what you'll find interesting is that in many cases, this can be actually much cheaper than dog food, especially if you're trying to give them like a high quality dog food ingredients. It's just easier to actually make it yourself. One big tip is if you can get produce for cheap, I talk all about our cost, food cost, meal cost, how we do things cheap. So look in the food and foraging playlist for that, and there's also some mentions in the budgeting playlist if you want those ideas. But we keep our produce pretty cheap, and that serves as a good base. The dogs can benefit from all that produce. So things like carrots and squash are really good bases. Yams, sometimes when they're on sale, also a good ingredient for dogs. We'll sometimes throw in some greens and some different fruits like apples and stuff like that. We usually mix it with some sort of meat, so it can be chicken. Chicken's the one that mostly goes on sale, so that's pretty much what they eat a lot of. And sometimes there's also like canned meats that are really cheap, and we'll pick those up for them. You can even get canned chicken, you can get canned fish, and this just it depends on the sale price, but this gives them variety. Eggs are also a really good source of a meat and a good source of protein and nutrition for the dog. So we do a lot of eggs, and eggs are pretty easy to get cheap, and it's something that we can also eat. So we do a lot of eggs for all of us. Other things that are really important to have on hand for dog homemade meals are things like rice. Rice, oats, and beans serve as really good bases as well. And they also keep for a long time. So again, if you're in a situation where you're traveling and being on the road, then these things you can keep without spoiling. So when they go on sale, you can just stock up on a lot of that. And again, the thing that's great with cooking your dog's meals is that you can also eat these things. So there's never really any, I don't know, it's just, there's no waste, and you can sort of, share in the meal making. And when you make things on a bigger, like, family scale, it ends up actually being more cost effective. Canned stuff is helpful. So when you can get canned stuff on sale, you can get canned green beans, garbanzo beans, all types of different beans, vegetables and fruits, pumpkin, and stuff that's good for dogs that you can mix in as well. They can actually eat some of the stuff that can be foraged. It varies, and you have to be careful because they can't eat everything that can be foraged. So you kind of have to know, especially when you get into some of the more, different types of ingredients. But the basic stuff, like berries and greens, they can normally eat, and so that's a nice supplemental feature for their food. It's cute because we actually go and we forage together with the dogs, and they even have learned to eat berries off plants. So I guess they watch us, or they just know, but those are nice little extras for them too. So that's just kind of a quick rundown on ideas if you want to get started, if you're traveling with a dog, or if you're not and you're in a home base too. But if you want to start thinking about making your dog's food rather than buying that poor ingredient or expensive dog food, it's along those lines. This is a great way to go. So that's what we do around here. And I didn't mention bananas. They love bananas. These kids go crazy for bananas. So that's another one, and we can get those super cheap as well. So yeah, you can add all kinds of ideas. Cauliflower, broccoli, It all depends on what's on sale, and just like we alter our meals depending on what's on sale, we do the same thing with the dogs' meals. So, yeah, so these guys eat pretty cheap just like we do, but still, as you can see, it can be nutritious. So, hope that gives you guys some ideas. I'll talk more about it later and more about traveling and being on the road with dogs as we go, but that's just an initial sort of idea starter. So, yeah, I'll leave you guys with those ideas, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.